Greetings, dear friends. Welcome back to Soul Signal, a space where we stop for just a moment, look deeply at life, and tune into the quiet messages our soul has always been trying to send us. Life unfolds as a magnificent journey. We laugh through childhood, we fight through youth, we build through adulthood, and then arrives a stage where life softly whispers, pause, look back, and get ready. Today's subject is delicate yet absolutely essential. 6 signs an elderly person is living their final year, and what every senior must truly understand. Before we go further, let me be very clear about something. This conversation is not rooted in fear. It is not soaked in grief. It is about awareness, wisdom, and honest preparation. Because death is not life's opponent. In many ways, death is precisely what gives life its deepest meaning. When we accept that our time here is finite, we begin living with far greater purpose. So today, with both tenderness and truth, let us walk through these 6 signs together. 1. Withdrawing from the world around them. Among the earliest signs many elderly people notice in life's closing stage is a slow withdrawal of interest from the outside world. Things that once felt urgent and exciting begin feeling strangely distant. The television programs they looked forward to every night may no longer hold their attention. The morning news they once consumed eagerly might suddenly feel irrelevant. Even family celebrations, social gatherings, nor lively conversations may start feeling draining rather than enjoyable. Families often misread this shift at first. They might say, "Why have you grown so silent?" Or, "Why do you refuse to step outside anymore?" But in most cases, something profoundly deeper is unfolding within the person. For most of our lives, our energy flows outward. We chase achievements, manage responsibilities, nurture work and relationships. The world constantly pulls our gaze away from ourselves. Yet as life moves into its closing chapters, something begins shifting naturally. The mind starts turning inward. It loses appetite for noise and develops a hunger for stillness, less drawn to action and far more drawn toward reflection. There is a beautiful analogy I once encountered. Picture a traveler who has spent many weeks exploring a breathtaking country. At the trip's beginning, he is energized. He wants to cover every alley, every bazaar, every landmark. But as his departure day draws closer, his hunger for exploration quietly fades. Instead, he begins folding clothes, organizing belongings, and mentally preparing to return home. Similarly, some elderly people begin retreating from the outer world, not out of unhappiness, but because their soul is gently preparing for the journey ahead. This period can actually become a season of extraordinary spiritual awakening. Rather than mourning what they no longer pursue, seniors can embrace this time for deep reflection. They can revisit the life they have lived, the wisdom they have gathered, and the love they have given. It can equally become a sacred window for releasing old wounds and offering forgiveness. When resentment is released, the heart grows lighter, and a lighter heart is the most precious thing anyone can carry into life's final chapter. For families, the wisest response is not pushing constant activity, but offering steady presence and genuine understanding. Sometimes sitting quietly beside someone says far more than 1,000 carefully chosen words. Because in life's final season, deep peace matters infinitely more than endless excitement. 2. Growing physical weakness that refuses to lift. Another sign that often surfaces in life's closing chapter is deepening physical weakness that does not respond to rest or medical treatment. Tasks that once felt effortless can suddenly demand enormous effort. Walking across a room may feel utterly exhausting. Standing briefly might require tremendous concentration. Even rising from bed may take far longer and cost far more energy than before. For many elderly people, this reality feels profoundly frustrating. After all, this is the very same body that once worked tirelessly, journeyed great distances, raised entire families, and shouldered enormous responsibilities across decades. Now, seemingly overnight, the body feels slower and increasingly fragile. But there is a fundamental truth we cannot ignore. Our body resembles a vehicle carrying us faithfully through life's journey. When the vehicle is fresh, it accelerates powerfully. It covers vast distances without complaint. But after years of constant use, the engine naturally begins losing pace. Parts begin wearing down. Maintenance becomes more frequent. This does not mean the journey was wasted. It simply means the vehicle fulfilled its purpose with extraordinary devotion. Likewise, the human body was never built for permanence. It was designed to support us faithfully during our earthly chapter. The wise person grasps this reality and chooses to receive it with dignity rather than despair. Sadly, modern culture often delivers the opposite message. We are conditioned to fear aging. We are pressured to conceal wrinkles, cover gray hair, and pretend that time holds no power over us. But aging carries no shame. Aging is proof of a life genuinely lived. Every wrinkle contains a memory. Every silver strand carries a story. Every scar holds a lesson. Rather than mourning physical decline, seniors can redirect attention toward the enduring strength of their wisdom. Even when the body weakens, the mind and heart continue offering immeasurable gifts to the world. An elderly person can still mentor younger generations, share hard-earned life lessons, provide emotional grounding, and pour kindness into every interaction. Sometimes the most powerful force within a family is not the physically strongest member, but the deeply weathered person carrying the most profound understanding of life. Consider a candle. As it burns low, the flame grows smaller, yet it can still fill an entire room with beautiful light. In exactly the same way, even a weakened body can continue radiating wisdom, compassion, and extraordinary love. 3. Sleeping far more than before. Another change that frequently appears in life's final chapter is noticeably increased sleep. Many elderly people begin sleeping considerably longer at night and napping more throughout the day. Even after extended rest, they may still feel drained and low on energy. For family members, this pattern can feel alarming. They may wonder if something serious is wrong or whether the person is becoming dangerously inactive. But in numerous cases, this heightened sleep is simply part of the body's organic transition. Throughout life, our bodies maintain a relentless pace. We work, move, travel, problem solve, and fulfill obligations every single day. But as the body ages, it begins decelerating gradually. Energy reserves naturally diminish and the body begins carefully conserving what remains. Sleep becomes the body's primary mechanism for restoration and balance. A deeply beautiful comparison helps illuminate this stage. Consider the setting sun. It does not vanish abruptly. Instead, it descends gradually toward the horizon. The light softens, the colors deepen and warm, and the world settles into a profound quiet. In much the same way, increased sleep can represent the body's tender preparation for deeper, lasting rest. This stage also delivers a powerful life lesson. Throughout our years, we fill nearly every moment with motion. We have sprinted between responsibilities, rarely permitting ourselves genuine stillness. Many people spend entire decades chasing wealth, success, and recognition. But when life quiets in later years, people begin recognizing that the most meaningful moments were usually the simplest ones. A genuine conversation with someone cherished, a peaceful walk through nature, a warm shared meal with family. So if deeper sleep becomes part of later life, seniors can commit to filling their waking hours with greater meaning rather than greater business. They can speak tenderly, share stories from across their lifetime, and express heartfelt gratitude to those who remained faithfully beside them. Sometimes the deepest regret people voice near life's end is not about what they did. It is about what they never said, the love they never expressed, the appreciation they never spoke aloud. That is precisely why every conscious moment becomes extraordinarily precious. Because time may be shrinking, but the reach of love and genuine kindness can extend forever. 4. Eating noticeably less than before. Another quiet sign appearing in life's later stage is a significant reduction in appetite. Meals that once brought genuine pleasure may suddenly feel heavy or simply undesirable. An elderly person who once enjoyed hearty portions may begin eating tiny amounts or sometimes skipping meals altogether. For family members, this shift can feel genuinely worrying. They might say, "You must eat more to stay strong," or "Why are you leaving your plate unfinished?" But the honest reality is that as the body ages, its nutritional demands naturally shrink. The digestive system slows considerably, metabolism shifts, and the body simply no longer requires the same nourishment it once depended upon. There is also a profound spiritual insight concealed within this phase of life. Throughout our years, we invest enormous energy caring for the physical body. We obsess over what to eat, when to eat, and precisely how much to consume. Food becomes the organizing structure of our entire daily rhythm, but as life's final chapter approaches, the body gradually requests less. It is almost as though life itself gently reminds us that we exist beyond our physical form. The body matters deeply. Yes, it is the vehicle through which we taste and experience existence. But the true core of who we are runs far deeper than anything physical. When seniors begin genuinely embracing this truth, something remarkable unfolds. Fear begins quietly dissolving. Rather than fixating solely on physical maintenance, they start nourishing inner strength. They may spend increasing time in prayer, meditation, or deep stillness. They may begin savoring small moments of genuine peace and connection rather than chasing material comfort. Food sustains the body, but love, gratitude, and spiritual awareness sustain the soul. For families, this season demands real patience and sincere understanding. Rather than pressuring large portions, offer lighter foods in small amounts. Stay close while they eat. Stay close while they eat. Transform meals into moments of genuine companionship rather than quiet obligation. Sometimes what an elderly person truly needs is not a heavier plate of food, but a deeper helping of love and devoted presence. Because in life's closing chapter, the heart yearns far more for genuine connection than the body ever yearns for nourishment. 5. Dwelling deeply on memories from the past. Another frequent sign in life's later stage is profound reflection upon the past. Many elderly people begin revisiting their memories with increasing frequency. They share stories from their earliest years, speak warmly about long-lost friendships, or recall events from half a century ago with extraordinary vivid clarity. Sometimes they retell these exact same stories repeatedly. Family members can occasionally grow impatient, thinking we have already heard this story countless times. But what we must truly grasp is that this pattern is entirely natural and deeply meaningful. The mind begins carefully reviewing the entire journey it has traveled. Imagine watching a film that represents your complete life story. As the film approaches its final scenes, you naturally begin revisiting the most significant moments. The turning points that shaped you, the people who permanently altered your path, and the experiences that carved your deepest lessons. Identically, not an elderly person's mind frequently revisits memories to find coherence and meaning within the whole journey. Some memories arrive carrying laughter and warmth, others arrive carrying regret. Yet this reflective stage offers something truly irreplaceable, the genuine possibility of lasting inner peace. If past mistakes weigh heavily, this is the moment to grant yourself forgiveness. If past hurts still sting, this is the moment to release them. Carrying resentment into life's final stage resembles dragging a heavy suitcase toward the finish line. The wise person consciously chooses to set it down. One elderly gentleman once expressed a thought of rare beauty. He said, "Forgiveness is never something we offer for another person's benefit. Forgiveness is the act by which we liberate our own imprisoned heart. And that is precisely the gift genuine reflection offers. It allows us to finally understand that every experience, including the painful ones, contributed to shaping the person we ultimately became." For seniors listening right now, hold on to this deeply important truth. Your life story matters profoundly. Your memories carry tremendous weight. The wisdom you gathered across decades represents a treasure that younger people desperately need. So share your stories freely. Share the experiences that carved your character, because sometimes a single lesson shared by a grandparent quietly shapes the entire direction of a young person's life. 6. Speaking more openly about death or what lies beyond. The final sign we will explore today emerges when elderly people begin discussing death or the afterlife more openly and more frequently. For many families, this conversation triggers immediate discomfort. When an elderly parent or grandparent raises the subject of death, not younger relatives often redirect the topic hastily. They might respond, "Please don't speak that way," or "You still have so many wonderful years ahead." Though these reactions spring purely from love, they sometimes unintentionally dismiss a completely natural and deeply important reality. When a person has lived 70, 80, or even 90 full years, reflecting seriously on what comes next is entirely and beautifully natural. Discussing death does not necessarily signal fear. In the majority of cases, it signals a deepening awareness of life's inevitable and sacred cycle. Each day, we observe this same cycle playing out across nature. The sun rises, blazes gloriously through daylight, and eventually sinks peacefully below the horizon. Seasons rotate from spring to summer, summer to autumn, and autumn to winter. Nothing within nature resists this perpetual flow. Life follows this identical rhythm without exception. When elderly people speak about death, they are frequently searching for something deeper than conversation. They may be wrestling with profound spiritual questions. What truly held value in this lifetime? What lasting legacy will remain when I am gone? What awaits beyond this life? These questions carry no darkness. They can actually catalyze extraordinary realizations. When we genuinely accept that life is temporary, we begin living with remarkable intentionality. We stop squandering precious energy on petty disagreements. We stop nurturing bitterness. We begin treasuring every single moment alongside the people we love most. Many spiritual traditions actively encourage contemplating mortality precisely because it generates breathtaking clarity. It returns us to the recognition that life's most important treasures are never possessions or social standing. The things that matter most are always love, genuine kindness, heartfelt compassion, and abiding inner peace. For families, the wisest response when seniors raise the topic of death is never avoidance. Instead, listen with true respect. Create space for them to voice every thought and every feeling. Sometimes simply feeling genuinely heard delivers more comfort than anything else possibly could, because near life's end, What people most deeply seek is rarely answers. What they seek most is simply to be understood. Dear friends, life resembles a magnificent book. Childhood is its opening introduction. Youth is its breathtaking adventure. Adulthood carries its weight of responsibility, and old age becomes its chapter of hard-won wisdom. The purpose of this final chapter is never meant to be fear. Its purpose is peace, honest acceptance, not in meaningful reflection. If you are a senior watching today, hold this close. Your greatest value was never your physical strength. Your greatest and most lasting value is the wisdom, love, and gentle guidance you leave permanently behind. And if you carry elderly parents or grandparents in your life, hold them with patience and profound compassion, because every one of us will eventually walk this same road. Thank you sincerely for giving this time to Soul Signal. If something in today's message stirred something real inside you, carry it forward to someone who genuinely needs it today. Until we meet again, tend carefully to your body, tend lovingly to your mind, and above everything else, never stop listening to the quiet, persistent signals of your soul.